Hey, my name is Linnea Hernandez. I teach honors 10th grade English, among other classes here at Beaumont High School. I'm excited to work with you. I think you're going to like this class. I think it's going to be fun for you. Just a couple things about me to give a little background. I started my teaching career teaching in New York City in the Bronx in a pretty intense gang high school. So there's a little bit of like New York Bronx gangster like in here. So if you're wondering what that vibe is from, it's from that. I mean, the students were lovely here, the students were lovely there, but it's certainly a different environment here at Beaumont. But the New York teacher vibe and the Bronx teacher vibe, all of that kind of results in just a really big ball of sarcasm right here. So just know that I'm a pretty sarcastic person, but sarcasm is my love language. So just lean into it, you know? And then my students, especially my advanced students, tell me that I'm intense about English. And to that, I would say, well, I would hope so. I would hope that your English teacher is intense about English, but just know that while I can be intense, the intensity is because I care about your success. I care about this subject. And I know from life experience just how important the skills that you learn in this class will be, not only in your future English classes, but in college, in your future employment, and just in life in general. So this class matters. It will help you in your future. And that's why I care. And that's why I'm intense about it. So, you know, intensity, it's a love language. It's a thing. Also, I've lived a very weird and interesting life. And because of that, I've just turned into a really weird person. And I kind of wear my weirdness as a badge of honor. I'm a massive, massive nerd about quite a few things. And I'm not even sorry about it. I'm too old to change. So again, just lean into it, get used to it, because I'm not even sorry about the weirdness. But the intensity and the New York vibes and the sarcasm and the weirdness aside, just know that I would not be here doing this job unless I really, really cared. I care about your success. I care about English as a subject area. And I know that you doing well is going to help you become a really awesome future you. So I really do care. Please utilize me as the resource that I am, because I am here for you. Everything I'm going to say in this video will be repeated by much cooler people, aka last year's students, in some videos that I have posted on our Canvas page and on my Canvas homepage. So go take a look at that if you don't want to take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? But I like to start things out by just giving you the general vibe in terms of who I am as a person and who I am as a teacher, and how that translates into how the class will be. Right? So first and foremost, again, what I'm about to say here is not a brag or a flex. It really is just being honest. And I've just discovered that being straightforward and honest is the best policy with students. So I'm good at this job. I'm good at teaching English. I've done it for a long time. And you as advanced honors English learners, just know that I have personally taught all of the classes that I'm preparing you for. So I currently teach the senior CE 1010 and 2010 English that you'll take as a senior. I've previously taught at Clearfield High School, AP Literature and AP Language with great success. My pass rates were high for those classes. My pass rates for the CE classes that I teach now are high. And that's just a fact, just to let you know that you're in good hands. And the things that we do in this class, I know exactly what I'm preparing you for in your future. So if you stay on the honors and advanced English track, I know exactly where you're going, and I know how to create a class that will get you there. See what I'm saying? So just trust the process. I've done it before. I'll do it again. And I really like doing it. So trust me, trust the process. You're in good hands. Just know that. In my class, I'm kind of weird about giving you all the resources that you need, to the point that like it's a little much, you know what I mean? So I will give you checklists, rubrics, tutorial videos, practice opportunities. I will give you everything you need to score well on any assignment. So chances are, if you're not scoring well on an assignment, or you're feeling unsuccessful with a concept, chances are that you haven't accessed all of the resources that I've made available to you. There's a very small chance that I've made a mistake or forgotten something, and I'm totally open to you pointing out those mistakes and me fixing those, because everybody's human. But 99% of the time, If you're not feeling successful, it's probably because you haven't accessed the key resources that I provided. And one of those key resources is SRC. The school, Viewmont's the only school that I've seen provide SRC in this way. And you do not have an hour-long lunch, you have SRC. And SRC is an incredible resource where you can get one-on-one help from any of your teachers. And that's a really great time to access the resources that you need in order to be successful in this and in any class. Kind of in the same category as that, one of my big philosophies as a teacher is to keep the metaphorical ball in the student's court, meaning that I try to do all I can to take all of the surprises and the guesswork out of everything that we do. So I put a lot of effort into putting everything on Canvas, making sure the due dates are clear, and I do all of that extremely far in advance. And I also post and discuss those due dates in the classroom. So you'll always have all the information you need to plan ahead to accommodate your unique situation. And chances are, if you're in an honors class, you're probably the kind of person that does stuff, like you're involved in stuff, right? It just happens to be that honors students tend to be the kind of people who get stuff done. So chances are you're busy, right? But I will always give you all the information you need to look ahead, even a week in advance, and start working on stuff that you have coming up if you know that you have a busy time in your life ahead. So just know that there's a way to never, ever be behind in this class as long as you're looking ahead, and I will help you with that as well. But chances are, if you're surprised by a due date or a policy in this class, the probable cause of that is that you have overlooked something that I've provided for you. Again, there's a chance that I've made a mistake or omitted something, but most of the time it's just because you've overlooked something that I've provided for you in the way of advance notice. And in this class, I play a real long game with the way that I teach, right? So I might introduce something in first term that we then revisit and enhance in fourth term, right? So just know that everything is planned meticulously. And when I was in high school, I really, really hated when I had work that felt like a time waster. It felt like filler. And so I really do all that I can to avoid that as a teacher myself. So even if it feels like it in the moment, nothing is busy work. Everything is meant to prepare you for something down the line. If you have assignments in this class that feel repetitive, that's for a reason. It's because I'm trying to get into your muscle memory the process that you need to be successful on this assignment and other assignments down the line. So just know, if it's unpleasant, do it anyway, because there's a good reason for it, right? The purposes that you have down the line, I'm always thinking in terms of honors classes, I'm always thinking about preparing you for the next advanced class in the canon for English classes through to your senior year. So just know that if I have a late work policy in this class, it's meant to prepare you baby steps wise for the policies that are coming down the line. I'm also teaching certain things because I'm required to teach that to you by the state standards, but also I'm also always preparing you for the ACT. You have the ACT in about 20 months. And the ACT, unfortunately, decides your whole future, and your score on that is incredibly important to your college career and your professional career as a result. So we're starting now to prepare for the ACT, and we're starting now to care about that, because it's possible to, not think about it until your junior year. And if you're thinking about it your junior year, you're late. You're too late if the score is important. Also, just preparing you for your college classes. I know what you will be required to do in your college classes because I teach them, right? And also just outside of school stuff, helping you improve your overall analytical thinking skills. Even if you're not going into a humanities profession, your overall analytical thinking skills, reading skills, communication skills, all of that are required for excellence anywhere in real life. So you need those. And then also the cool thing about English class is that we also explore important artistic and cultural concepts. We're reading cool stuff, we're discussing cool stuff. So for all of those reasons, just know that there's a plan for that and trust the process, even if it doesn't feel like it's important in the moment. This class is centered around a growth mindset, which is very, very hard for advanced learners to embrace. Chances are, if you're the kind of kid who's taken honors classes before, you're the kind of person who expects perfection from yourself out of the gate. And while I understand that because I was that student and I still am that person, it's really important to know that being perfect immediately is not a realistic expectation. So the grading of this class has built-in forgiveness and built-in kind of like wiggle room while you are mastering a skill, because nobody should be perfect on the first, second, or even third try. So the grading for this class is built around that. So try to work against your honors English mindset and think it's okay for me to not be perfect. If I don't do well on this, I can redo it as long as I turn it in on time, right? So every policy in this class is built around the mindset of you can do better as long as you are trying and willing to work. That's it. Here is a list of frequently asked questions that everybody asks about this class. And I figure if I answer them now, then we'll save us both a lot of time. So here we go. The first question that everybody asks is this class hard? Like, is this difficult? And the answer is, 80% yes and 20% no. So here's the thing. This class is not going to be so difficult that it's going to take over your life, but it needs to be difficult enough so you can get used to the rigor and the depth that your future advanced English classes are going to require of you. So I have to achieve a really nice balance with that. So is the class difficult? Of course, I don't think so, because I have college degrees in the subject area. But I think if you're here and you're engaged and you're not allowing yourself to get behind, I don't think it's going to feel that difficult. I think the most difficult part about this class is that you're going to be learning concepts that are pretty new to you. Before, all of your English classes up till now have probably been pretty repetitive. And this is where you start learning brand new information in the subject area. And so you might have to tap into your higher level thinking skills and think a little bit harder about things. But in terms of the work, I wouldn't consider it crazy difficult. I would just consider it kind of in the pocket of where the rigor, on the rigor scale, where it needs to be to prepare you for the future, but be manageable in the present. Oh, that was so well said. Good job, me. Anywho, frequently asked question number 2, is this teacher strict? I think I have had students that think I'm so breezy and fun. And then I've also had students who think I'm super strict. So I think the question is, what do you consider strict? You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's some things that I'm pretty strict on and other things that I'm super lax on. So I will talk to you about the disclosure and you'll have a pretty in-depth kind of assignment around that. And that's where you'll get to understand where my non-negotiables are and where there's a lot of flexibility in the way that I do things. So to answer this question, is this teacher strict? Yes and no. So, I mean that, yeah. Can I get an A in this class? Here's the thing. Sometimes in advanced classes, teachers cap the number of A's or the percentage of A's that students get, but that's not me. If you earn an A and everybody happens to get an A in this class, that's cool. The thing about the way that I structure this class is redos are available. There's makeup options. So basically, as long as you're willing to work hard and stay on track, you can get the grade that you want in this class. That's just the bottom line. So can I get an A in this class? You'll have to work and think, but yeah, you can get an A. And if you don't get an A in this class, chances are you just didn't really want to on some level, because it's totally possible for every single person in this class to get an A. What if English is not my best subject? Sometimes honors students take honors classes because they want to have the honors designation on their transcript. And you do. If you want to be a scholarship student, you got to have honors. You got to show future educational institutions that you were willing to challenge yourself at every given opportunity. So you do want the honors designation on your transcript. But just because you selected an honors class doesn't mean that it's your favorite class, and doesn't even mean that it's your relatively best subject. But to answer this question, what if English is not my best subject? Here's the thing. Do you want to know whose best subject English is? It's me. I'm good at it, right? So what you got to do is let me handle the stuff that's in my wheelhouse. I will handle getting you the skills in little baby steps. I will handle structuring the class for you. What you've got to handle is the stuff that you can control, which is your time management, whether or not you have grit and you're willing to push through challenging learning moments, being in class, being present when you're in class, right? Like mentally present. So you do your job and I'll do mine. Let me handle the English stuff. And even if you feel like you're not that good at English, allow me to change your mind on that. Okay. Is there a lot of homework in this class? So I think no. There will be homework because it's an honors class. I don't think the amount of homework will be unmanageable unless you get behind, right? So I think a good rule of thumb for a class like this is every class day that you have in class, expect 30 minutes of homework for that class. So if you have class on Tuesday and Thursday of the week, expect an hour of homework kind of spread out through the week. If you have class 3 times on that week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then expect an hour and a half of homework cumulatively throughout the week. And I will help you spread that work out. Sometimes there will be a lot less than that. And sometimes near the end of the term, when you're doing final projects and stuff, there'll be more than that. If you get behind, if you're absent a lot, it's going to feel like a lot more. But is there a lot of homework in this class? I would say no, there is homework, but expect 30 minutes per class period at home per week. I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb, give or take. So here's the thing. I noticed that honors students specifically, they have the mindset where they get really anxious if things aren't exactly going their way. And again, remember, I was an honors student and I was a real grade grubber in high school. So I understand that mindset, right? I also understand stuff happening in your life that's out of your control that adds to your anxiety because you can't perform as well as you would like to in a given class. I understand all of that. I've lived a life, man. So here's what I would like to say. A little bit of things not going your way is totally normal. And that's part of the learning process, and that's fine. But if you're feeling extra frustrated, if you're feeling extra overwhelmed, or if you have something going on in your life that makes it so you're not able to do what you need to do, all of those things I can try to help you with, and I can try to support you, but I can't support what I don't know about. So please, you don't have to come tell me your life story. You don't have to tell me personal information, but it is helpful if you communicate with me. I have an office in my classroom that looks really spooky right now because the light's off, but we can talk about things so nobody else can hear if you would like. But here's the thing, I can't help what I don't know about. So please communicate with me and don't expect for me to just magically know that you're having a rough time or you're frustrated. I can't read minds, but I do want to help you. So make sure to communicate with me. In terms of communication, though, just know that as much as you have a life outside of school, so do I, right? I have a family, I have kids, I have stuff that is important to me outside of this classroom, right? So just know, maybe you don't know, teachers are only paid between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. on weekdays, on school days. So any work that they do outside of those hours is basically free labor or volunteer work, right? So there might be times when I answer you outside of those hours. If you send me an email or a remind message, there might be times when I respond to that. And it's just because I wanted to, donate that time to you basically, but it's not appropriate to expect answers during those times. So just know that if you send me an email at 3 p.m. on a school day, I'm probably not going to get back to you until the next set of working hours, the next weekday of working hours. But I do generally get back to people within 24 working hours, not 24 hours, 24 working hours. So please don't expect responses on weekends, holidays, or late weeknights, but don't be surprised if I do respond anyway. But just to know, SRC is a really great time to catch me. If you need to talk about stuff, if you need to communicate with me about something, sure, you can send an email, but I'm here for SRC every day. Usually SRC is every other day with teachers, and it's technically that way for me too. But I'll talk to you during any SRC day, even if it's not my SRC day. So please don't hesitate to come talk to me and communicate with me that way as well. Just in this class, the way that I get students' attention is I use the Viking motto, when the wind doesn't blow, Vikings row, because it goes along with what we're doing with grit and learning about how to persevere through challenging academic times. So when I want your attention and I need y'all to stop talking and listen to the brilliant thing that I'm about to say, I will say, when the wind doesn't blow, and then everybody in the class all together in response will say, Vikings row. And like put a fist pump in there too. Just kidding, that part's not required, but I would love it if you did. And once you say Vikings row, you stop talking, you listen to the no doubt amazing thing I'm about to say. So let's practice right now. When the wind doesn't blow, I know you did it in your room with the fist bump. Okay. So yeah, with all that being said, please, you're not bothering me when you come ask for help. I really like working with students, helping you through a successful course is my favorite thing about this, helping students. So you're not bothering me. Please ask for help when you need it. I am here for you. I think you're going to like this class. The stuff we're studying this year is interesting. It's cool. And it's stuff that's just good to know any way you go about it. So I look forward to working with you. Thanks for watching this video. See you later. Okay, bye.